Hey everyone, today's episode I'm just going to show you how to integrate ChatGPT and other open source LLMs into your coding environment so you can do something like this and add context about your code into your IDE and ask about it. So let's just, for example, say, tell me about session tokens. And so here we are hooking into GPT-4 Turbo. But I also have access to many other models such as GPT-4, and here's FindCodeLlama, a open source LLM. And so let's get into it. Here I am with a fresh VS Code instance. We're going to go into our command palette and install. The extension we're going to be using is called Continue, and they call themselves an open source autopilot for software development. So we're going to just install this, and here we go. It's going to give you a quick little tutorial that'll walk you through basic features. So now that we have Continue installed, let's just go to Focus on View, Continue. And so the default view to see is Command M on a Mac. And what you can now do is let's go ahead and highlight this function. Hit Command M, and now it's actually passing the context of this function into our LLM. Here we have GPT-4. It comes with it automatically. I think you get like 20 free requests, but I'll show you how you can add your own GPT-4 key or a local LLM. But let's just, let's say, what does this code do? And so if you're not familiar with LLMs, you can just ask it a question such as this. What does this code do? This code sorts a list in ascending order. That's pretty nice because it's pretty gross looking. So what about these other options? There are a handful of providers, and the keys here are providers. I can make this a little wider. The providers are where the model is being hosted. So here we have like OpenAI, which will give us access to their models. There's Anthropic, and then there's Olama. So first, let's see what happens if you want to do OpenAI. It'll actually ask for your API key. And when you plug this in, then you'll get complete control of the GPT-4 model, where you can actually play with the context, the temperature, as well as a handful of other variables that it provides. And then, so the provider I actually like to use while using this is Olama. Recently, I've uploaded a video about Olama and how we can run these LLMs locally. And if you're curious about how Olama works, I'll link that in the description. This allows you to run very popular open source LLMs such as Llama 2, and there's a handful of others, and I'm going to show you how. But when you click this, it looks like it actually shows you how to get Olama set up, and then how to get the Llama models as well. So again, I'm not going to go into this. I've already done that recently in another video. It's very simple though. It should only take like 2 minutes. Most of which is just downloading the big model files. But I'm going to continue assuming you have Olama, and then we're going to go into models. And again, these are all of the models that are supported by Continue. Let's go ahead and use this Wizard Coder, a CodeLlama based code generation model from Wizard LM focused on Python. So after adding that model, it's going to direct you into your settings. Another way to get here is by clicking settings down here. And you'll see we clicked Wizard Coder 7b. And so it adds this nice little JSON object here. And here's my other model, FindCodeLlama. I also have ChatGPT-4 here, but I decided to delete it because it actually has my API keys in raw text, which seems a little weird. So if you are using ChatGPT, don't push this to prod or to a repo. But what you can see here is these are my two models, Find as well as Wizard Coder, and you're going to see those both down here. And so here we have Wizard Coder 7B. And let's just, use one. Let's do a new chat, and let's just add. Let's do Command M. Tell me about this JSON object. And now I want to play with Wizard Coder 7B. I'm going to swap over and click enter. I'm expecting this to break. There it is. Error handling message from continue side panel. Wizard Coder 7B Python not found. Try pulling it first. So that's actually exactly what we want to do. So let's get this model. And let's just make sure we have Olama running. And so you can verify that by going to here and seeing your cute little llama at the top. So that's running. I'm going to cancel this request. And now let's go to our terminal and say Olama. And I want to say it's poll and then that Wizard Coder 7B Python. And here you can see it's downloading 3.8 gigabyte model file. Now that we have pulled this, I'm going to ask it again about this JSON object. And there we go. So all of this text that's being generated is actually coming from this Wizard Coder 7B LLM. And to just showcase that, I'm actually going to disconnect from the internet. And let's try again. How about, let's try this. Tell me about this JSON object. And there we go. Again, I'm not connected to the internet. And I'm still getting high quality results. Now I'm going to just reconnect to the internet. And so anyways, yeah, that's pretty impressive. One last thing I want to show you is actually two things. First is this system message. So I'm going to close that. It actually conveniently gives us a little hover and it says system message, a system message that will always be followed by the LLM. So what's actually happening behind the scenes is by having this system message, it's first plugging that in and then it's asking the question, tell me about this JSON. But these are just a couple set rules that I put into my prompt. Most of my work tends to be in TypeScript. I like to write functional code. So this is something I found that I was asking the prompt or the LLM often, so I just do it here instead. So I think this is very powerful. Something worth doing if you're consistently using these for like specific problems. Otherwise, you can always just cut this out, have no system message, and add that as needed. But I prefer to have it in here for every message. And the last thing that's actually also really cool about Continue is it has these things called slash commands. And so you can do something like this. So let's hover, Command M, and then we'll do this one specifically, comment. So that means slash, oh, and it even shows here your options. Comment, yeah, and there you go. So it actually wrote comments. The reason it's yelling at me here is because this is JSON, and I don't believe there's comments in JSON. Let's ask, can you comment in JSON? Yes, comment. Oh, is that true? It says right here, comments are not permitted in JSON. So anyways, with every LLM, take it with a grain of salt. So anyways, these are the built-in ones: edit, comment, share, command. But you can also do your own custom commands. So here I wrote my own little test command that says write a comprehensive set of unit tests for the selected code. It should set up run tests to check for correctness, including yada, yada, yada. and then description, write unit test for highlighted code. So let's try with this, and we can say test. And I should write some, yeah, here's a simple Python unit test. And it even gives you all the cases. So that's pretty powerful. And this is something I wrote. This is something I created personally. So you can do any sort of custom command, custom prompt. We could even let's just write one right now. Let's just do, we could do name, joke, prompt, tell a joke, and description, tells jokes. And this probably isn't going to work because I am using a coding specific LLM, and they tend to kind of, I once had a dream that I could see. Yeah, see, that's not very funny. But you see how it works. I once had a dream that maybe I'm missing it. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if I am. So that's it for, I think that's about it for this. Again, it's really nice to have this like ChatGPT capability directly in your IDE, but also having it like using a local LLM for offline usage, data privacy usage, customization. You know, this wizard coder is specifically optimized for Python and for code, right? It's and by creating these specific optimizations, they can create smaller file sizes. They can potentially do better than ChatGPT in certain areas. For example, this FindCodeLlama, I believe, actually ranks higher than ChatGPT in certain areas. The problem is it takes a very long time to respond. So let me, for example, I think last time I used it, it took about 40 seconds to respond, and I'm on a M1, what are these things, Pro Max, 32 gigabytes of RAM. So maybe like the latest and greatest M3 MacBook with better specs will probably get better times here. So be aware of that when choosing your LLM. Try to stick with like the 7 billion parameter or the 13 billion parameter models. Otherwise, it's going to take a very long time. One last thing. Oh, there we go. So that's all I have for you. I hope you learned a lot today. I've been meaning to make this video for a while now. This is a tool I use every day in my programming career, both professionally and for fun. And this all being open source, free, it's pretty incredible. And I think it's going to be hard to compute as we move forward with this technology. Anyways, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.